All right, everybody, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? Welcome to episode 120 of SWAC Smoke, man. We in the house, got the big soldier over there holding it down. Got C Wells over here, man, and it's been a crazy week. Really been a crazy 2 weeks, and we're gonna talk about all the stuff going on, man. All the rumors, the coaching changes, and hey, they got some football still left too. So we're gonna try to talk about all of that, man. But before we do all of that, man, how y'all folks doing out there, man? Y'all holding it down? Um, Let me know how y'all folks doing out there. We got TSU in the house up here early. Everybody from TSU in the house, boy. Y'all must got something going on, man.
Uh-oh.
What's up, big soldier?
Craig, what's happening, bro?
What's up, Craig? What's going
What's up,
on, man?
Drillo? What's up, Los J? What's good?
Well, we
I,
got
I
all the
I see
TSU in
Body.
here.
Yeah, I know Body hit the portal, but I still think TSU gonna be good, bro. Now, I kind of hate
Bro,
he hit it, but he want to uh, want to take a chance on himself. I can't
yeah,
knock that.
you can't, like I said, man, my thing about the portal always been, man, I support any kid that want to do whatever. I just want them to make the right choice for them. Don't make a rush move. Make sure you going where that's gonna benefit you. So I'm all in, man. I'm interested to see how this journey gonna go. I mean, hell, we got Keyshawn Johnson from Bama State winning the
He in the
portal a
portal.
couple hours
Yep.
ago. Although I already kind of had some little inside info that might happen, so I'm not really surprised at it.
I'm not that
Um,
surprised either.
I think Adrian Maddox, I think he went in the portal.
Yeah,
He
in the
about to go in the
portal. Yep.
portal. So
He
I mean,
always gets some good dynamic players. He gets a good one, and then they hit the portal. I don't.
it can't hold him, bro.
Yeah, he can't hold him, man. What's up, man? We got to have some stars in HBCU space now. Come
Yeah, I
on
mean,
now.
we lose guys, then we get guys, and then we lose more guys, man. And I think that really impacted the way the season went, man. I'm actually working on a project. It's nothing crazy, but I'm actually working on a project, trying to see the difference in SWAC offenses from last year to this year, because it really wasn't that good, to
Mm-hmm.
me. And I said this before. I didn't think most SWAC teams had solid offenses this season. I don't know whether it's coaching, or the players, or systems, or what, but interesting things I'm already seeing. So I'm gonna try to make a video on that in a couple of weeks. But man, we got the man. Let's start off with
Mm-hmm.
Coach Hugh, man. Grambling got Hugh up out of
Oh
there,
man,
bro.
ooh man, I'm so disappointed. I think Grambling made a mistake. I really do. The team was
Hey,
going up and up, man. I mean, you go from 3 wins, to 5 wins, and possibly
up at the
see
classic
where
with that
they
Gucci
could
suit
have.
on and an ascot, bro.
And to be honest, Grambling could have won that game, man. They could have went up by two
Bro,
scores,
they
you
they
know.
they should have won that game.
And
And
I
and
understand, yeah, but I understand. I probably ruffled a lot of people's feathers, but you don't get rid of a coach that's on the up and up. And that program was, to be honest, man, it was a whole lot better than it was in the past few years. This year, and you get rid of Coach Hugh Jackson, man. I think they were gonna be on their way to make some noise in the West next year. And
yeah,
and, and I hate they pulled the plug that quick.
you know, a lot of people from Grambling were all season was not happy with some of the decisions and moves that he was making. I mean, he was putting together a solid team. He had a lot of young guys that he brought in. If you look at the players that he had that put up good numbers, a lot of them were freshmen and sophomores. Um, but some of those game time decisions that kind of hurt. But I feel like in their case, I feel like that was a rash move, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say what goes on behind the scenes, but I kind of feel like, so sometimes you look at things and you make a move, and you look back and you wonder if that was the right move. So we're gonna find out, in the near future, because they trying to have a coach within the week. So we're gonna see if they make a good move. Um, like Thrillo say, some people have unrealistic expectations, man. And when you got people in charge, with those expectations, it can kind of weigh heavily. And that's the difference between some programs and others. You know, some schools have crazy expectations that can't be met, and some, you know, have more grounded expectations. But you know, what's done is done, man. You know, like I said, I don't think it was 100% the Bayou Classic, but I think it played a part in it. But you know, we'll see. You know, we'll see where they go from here, because you know, I kind of had a feeling it might happen, and but still seeing it happen, you know, was kind of like not a shock, but it was still like a, you know, like a damn. You know, they did it. You know, so
I won't be surprised, man. Why haven't they like get Dooley to come back to Grambling? That'd be funny, man. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
hey,
Bring Dooley back to Grambling.
I want to see. I want to see. Hey, I mean, we already had one. We already had one classic with a coach who coached on both teams. So why not have another classic with a coach that coach on both sides? But where they go from here, man, that's the $100 million question, man.
I don't think it's a celebrity hire though, bro. I think it's gonna be like a coach. I don't see Grambling gonna go into celebrity.
Nah.
I think they're gonna really deep down. They got to have somebody on deck for them to even pull the plug on Hugh this quick.
Yeah, you know, if they making a move to a head coach this quick, then they already got somebody in mind. That's my thinking. They're gonna, you know, if to answer the comment, I think that if they looking to bring a guy in that fast, then they already have somebody in mind. And I don't want to spread no rumors, but
I mean, hey, Reed was spread rumors because I mean, script put it out there, you know, that he was about to, you know, he possibly be fired or stepping down. You know, I mean, hey, rumors are rumor.
Oh yeah,
it might not be right, but you know, it's you know.
Hey, before we go any further, man, y'all show some love to our first team all conference long snapper, man. Brax, we're gonna hook up again, Brax? Man. Hit me up on socials, bro. We're gonna work something out. Yeah, we might even do a little live, man. So hit me up. We definitely can make that happen. That's my guy, man. Braxton Blackwell, great dude, man. But like I was saying, I heard Ed Reed was in the Dome this weekend, man. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I heard one side say he was in the box with Southern people, and I heard other people say he was just walking around. And he got family that played for Southern. His nephew was the quarterback on the team at Southern. So he from Destrehan. You know, y'all know how I feel about celebrity coaches. I'm not pushing for that, but I'm just saying, man, that's what I heard. That don't mean it's gonna happen, but that's what I heard.
Man, you sure you weren't trying to play for the Saints? You might be trying to put back on that uniform.
He might. Hey, can he play? Can he play quarterback?
He want to play safety.
Hey,
that man trying to test somebody's head off again.
It's been the Southern search it's been quiet for a way. It's been a little quiet, but it's one of those things that I've been, you know, you get information from different sides that say different things, and you can't make heads or tails of it. So this is a don't get it twisted. This is a very important hire for Coach Banks at Southern, because I feel like a lot of people want him out. I feel like his job is riding on this. He can't miss. He can't miss. Yeah, I mean, you know, Graham wanted him too. You know, he said Graham had offered him the job, and you know, we'll see, man. I'm not pushing for that. But that's you know, that's one of those things. What's up, D, man? What's going on? D Town in the house. What's going on with you? But I think it's gonna be interesting, man, because you know, the one name you hear everybody throw around is Chennis Berry. I'm not really, you know, honestly, man, I'm not really sure how I feel about any candidate at Southern right now. I'm still kind of shell shocked from the season, bro. I do know that it really hit home watching the classic, and Noah Biden didn't play a great game, but he didn't play a bad game either. He made some mistakes, but it kind of hit home to watch this guy move the offense at times better than it moved all season. Not it wasn't perfect, obviously, so we scored one touchdown second half, but certain things he did look better than other times. And you kind of this is the second year that we played that we had to play that what if game, and to me that's one of the biggest indictments against Coach Dooley was that look, if you look at Bama State, they made a QB change. Their offense didn't get a lot better, but they made a change, and it kind of got better, to a degree. But sometimes you got to make that tough change. But like I say, man, we'll see what happens with all these searches, man. I heard Andre Johnson's supposed to be interested in the TSU job. I like Tremaine Jackson, man, from Valdosta State. That's been a name that I've been putting up in a lot of different places, man. I think he could do good at one of these jobs. He, like you said, he won at Colorado Mesa. He won at Valdosta. I know it's not hard to win at Valdosta, but he took over a team that had a losing record. He got them back on track. I think he'll be a good fit somewhere. That's a name I've been pushing for since Dooley first got fired. So we'll see. But like I said, Johnson say he wanted the TSU job, man.
I don't know.
How y'all folks feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, I never even heard of Andre Johnson coaching. You just can't. You got to plug in. I think you need to plug in a coach at a place like Texas Southern, man. I don't think you just put in a celebrity. I mean, somebody that you just ain't never heard of like that. Which we heard of him being on the Houston Texans, but man, you want to make sure you can have somebody be able to run a program. Also, to ignite the fan base, ignite the community, know how to bring in like certain resources and everything. Now, if Andre Johnson could do it, oh well, I'm for it. But I think a lot is a lot of these coaches coming into this space. Do they understand what they had to go through in order to be successful in the SWAC? Because we lack a lot of resources, so it ain't easy coaching in the SWAC.
Oh no, indeed. Oh, what's up, Blue? Man, we got Blue in the house. I know how he get down. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just don't, know, man. I thought that, I thought we would be moving away from that kind of stuff, the celebrity thing, but people still bring it up, every time a job come open. So, I heard Ryan Clark name thrown around for Southern a few weeks ago. He made a statement he want to coach. I don't, I don't know, man. I just think, especially for Southern's sake, you have to make a good hire, bro. You cannot miss on this hire, because you can't keep going backwards. I mean, we'd have a different coach in the last 4 Bayou Classics. That's crazy when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd have 4 coaches in 4 Bayou Classics. That's crazy. So you got to have some kind of stability. Yeah, you're gonna have to have somebody that's used to that can handle the politics of our schools. Yeah, I think if he wanted to be involved with the program, more power to him. But I don't know. I don't know if coaching is the right thing. But that shouldn't stop him from doing things to be involved. You know what I mean? Your wallet still can come with you. You ain't got to be the head coach to make a difference at the school. Your wallet can come with you.
I wouldn't mind seeing somebody like Hugh Jackson getting back in the SWAC again at another school. Maybe because I think it's gonna whatever school, like say Texas Southern, gonna be another slow process. I think it's gonna be another slow build. And you want to make sure you do it the right way. don't rush it. Because I kind of feel like McKinney, I think he should have got one more year. I like to see what he could do, one more shot, but some people they want to see that wins come quick, but sometimes they don't work we don't work that way.
Yeah, we got a couple good comments come in. I don't know if if Andre Johnson got his degree. I mean, you can't do the job without one. So hopefully, if he expressing interest like that, he got everything taken care of, because you don't want that to be a thing to come up at the end. That's a name I ain't heard in a long time. Chris Dishman. That's a name I ain't heard in a minute. I mean, like I said, man, all these jobs are jobs that got their own perks to them, man. And I think the right guy at TSU could do some damage. Somebody got to come in there and be able to lay the groundwork, because the talent is there. You're in a talented area, it is there. That like I said, turn over the stones and see what happens, man. I'm really interested in seeing how all these searches go. I know one thing: the West ain't gonna be boring. We're gonna have 3 new coaches in the West. I heard people were talking about Coach Hampton got fired, and I was like, bro, I don't think they fired that man after 1 year, man. Like that's Pine Bluff. I don't think.
Nah, I don't think they fired him, but I know he fired Bobby Acosta, which I was like, dang, you really can't. I'm like, man, that's kind of bad. You fired a coach, and you know what you was coming into. Like you got to get a man a chance. I like Pine Bluff's offense, because I like how they use their tight ends. I just think they were just switcherooing the quarterback too many times for me.
I think
for my thing, and I kind of think if they would have got some more skill players, like wide receiver and maybe another couple running backs, I think that offense might would have turned up, and cranked up. But
I will say this for them: they running back room. But before we go too far, like you said, they fired the OC, and I guess people thought they fired the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Account, I'm like, he ain't say nothing, so I really, but it was one of the things where I guess somebody heard something and they ran with it. But I think
could you imagine if they really did fire Coach Hampton?
That would be ridiculous, bro.
Man, I think Hampton would tear some stuff up, because he already
would, bro.
I could just see him now. You gonna fire me after year 1?
He did, and he didn't. And when you think about it, when he came in, he came in late, so he didn't even have his first signing day, really. And their running back room took a lot of injuries this year. They had some talented backs in their room, but all those guys were injured during various parts of the season, and that hurts you. Your O-line, struggled. That hurts you. Like you said, they played 4 quarterbacks. That hurts. They never had the continuity. And I think he's the guy that's gonna hit the ground running and try to get that thing on track. But everybody don't need to have that 2 years of bust thing. I mean, a school like that, you got to build from the bottom. So if he can't do it, ain't no other coach gonna come somewhere that you get fired after a year.
Any hot offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators that's throwing names around that possibly could be some good candidates that's in the air or anything?
I hadn't heard anything yet, but I'm sure anybody in the chat, if y'all know anybody who might be a good OC candidate or DC candidate anywhere, let's get them names going around, man. Because I think the one thing, and I'm gonna lead a celebrity thing at this. The one thing that I don't like about it is we fuss about. What's up, Crook? What's going on, man?
Chris ain't peaceful. All right, Crook.
I got to put that one on the screen. I got to put that.
Hey, Crook got rid of his boy, man. So might as well. It's peace now.
Hey, old Fred played the game the way you're supposed to play it, man. You know, you don't want to come out the pockets. You go talk to somebody else and make them come
Oh,
off the.
Fred McNair had interviewed at Texas Southern.
Yeah, man,
He was
that was the
now he was
word
trying to
going
now he
around.
was trying to get out of Mississippi.
That was the word going around.
The back go. Well, Fred McNair always interviewed for so many different spots. I think he just tried to use that for leverage. I
Yeah,
noticed
man. I
that he
mean,
does that.
make that call. Have your agent make that call, and then you make the call to them and be like, "Look, bro, they want me. How bad do you want me?" And then they gonna go ahead and make it happen. But like I say, man, I'm interested. But the one thing I wanted to say before I got off of the celebrity topic is that I think a lot of people fuss about black coaches not getting opportunities nowhere. And then at a black school, we trying to take opportunities from up and coming coaches to give them to guys who ain't did anything in the coaching realm, and I think that kind of hurts, man. I see that bothers some coaches, man. Like you put in work to move up the ladder and you get jumped by somebody because they got a name,
Yeah,
that
I
can
agree
you
with that.
sometimes you passing over a guy who could be a really good fit for you because you're looking for that sexy name, man. It's not always about that. It's about that guy that does the best for your program. So I'm interested to see how these searches go, but we're gonna slide off of this and talk about these couple games that happened last week. Turkey Day Classic, man. Bama State put a hurting on Tuskegee, man.
Yeah, man, they
41 to
sure
3
did. Tuskegee didn't have a passing offense like that.
at
They
all.
couldn't. Pass the ball at all, and they really didn't do too much running the football. But yeah, that Bama State defense, man, it was lights out.
Man, I sat down in my mama house and was like, man, we all gonna watch the Turkey Day Classic. Put the thing on, and Bama State ran opening kickoff for a touchdown. I'm like, oh well, guess I'll
Yeah, it
have to
was
go
over.
get ready to watch the Cowboys. It's like their offense, made some things happen. They didn't have the best game, numbers wise, but they did what, like you said, defensively, man. His defense carries his team, and
Yeah.
that just that didn't change. But I think they did what you're supposed to do against a team like Tuskegee. You don't let them know. You don't let them hang around, and you get them up out of there quickly, and that's what they did. Yeah, I think, man. I mean, he said it during the week that he didn't understand. Last year he didn't understand how important that game was, and what it took to go into it. Like he didn't know that you had to go down there the whole week of the game, basically. So, he just never had, he never had a good handle on that. Um, the one thing I will say about that game, bro, is this the second year in a row that Hugh stopped doing what was working and cost himself a game. They could have. I mean, I get you trying to catch Southern off guard with a pass play because they looking for the run, but Southern ain't stopped the run the whole game, and I doubt they were gonna stop Floyd Chalk from 2 yards out, or Chance Williams from 2 yards out. Put the ball in one of the dude's hands and let him make a play. But you put in a guy who had been hurt most of the game. Everybody know the ball going to Lyndon Rash,
Mm-hmm.
and you put it to him, but you didn't even put it to him in a position to make a play on it.
Right,
So
right.
I
That throw was horrible.
yeah, man, I
Horrible
was
throw.
sitting right in that corner, bro. I was sitting right in that corner. I saw it happening. I'm like, he didn't even give him a chance to make a play on the ball. So it's he didn't know they was.
Boy, that's a miscommunication right there. If he didn't know they
that,
was going to throw, I would have threw something to the tight end. That's why I would have, because nobody covers the tight end in the SWAC. I believe if
no,
that last play, if the tight end was open, the tight end was going to be open. I guarantee it was
yeah,
going to be open.
and he actually had a guy open coming underneath in the end zone, but they would that play, I guess, was just strictly designed for that fade, and they didn't even look that way. It was gonna be a tough throw, but it probably done been at least a better opportunity to let your guy make a play on the ball. But I like I said, the third down play, I get it because they scored a touchdown on a zone read down there, and Southern Man, didn't stay at home the first time, but this time he stayed at home and they lost some yardage. but they lost like a yard or two, which I still think they could have ran it in. But you know, they I feel like they never really they ran the ball extremely well, but I feel like they never really put the ball. They never really showed a lot of faith in Miles Crowley throwing the ball in that game. They never he never went deep really with it. I mean, they didn't have to, honestly. When you're averaging 5 yards a carry, you ain't really got to. But you know, I thought they just didn't manage that game well, knowing that they had the better offense in that game. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't run, because I just knew they were gonna they were gonna run that thing in, and we are gonna have to try to score in a minute. But you know, hey, I take the win, man. However it come, I take it, because I was up in that dome sweating, boy. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
Watching
sometimes
that,
you just gotta take it how it is, man. I mean,
hey,
but I
watching
thought
that,
for a
what
second Grambling was gonna jump on top at least by 2 touchdowns, but
it looked like it broke up. I mean, it like the first quarter, it looked like both teams had a chance to kind of take control of the game. We had the ball twice on their side of the field and came up with nothing. They put together a good drive and they got it. Um, yeah, I feel like, and I think he's a solid quarterback. I really do. But I feel like as the season went on, they stopped putting a lot on him and they moved away from him kind of. So, he still can hurt you, but I feel like a guy like that, they never really gave him anything major to do. So they kind of made him more of a game manager, honestly. Oh yeah, when we went up 27-7, I was sitting there like, man, it's the worst thing that could ever happen, because now we got to try to hold on, and the offense went stagnant, and the defense was giving up tons of yardage. But Southern defense got a habit of bending and not breaking, and they got to stop in the end zone. We had to punt back to them. It was just one of them things where, like, you knew at some point Grambling was going to take the lead, but they didn't. And man, like I said, I was happy to get up out of there with that one. So the way the season went, bro, I ain't gonna complain about about how that game looked. I just take the victory and go home. Oh, if that was the case, man, we probably be down in that game, man. Because I mean, I thought they did some things differently that they wouldn't normally do, and that finds you, with the opportunity to make some things happen. So we'll see, man. But let me run this by y'all, man. Since we talking about Southern, and I wanted to get away from the coaching thing, but we gotta come back to it. How most people would feel if Coach Graves got that job, because they did interview him for that job.
oh man, I don't think he interested in that job. I think he was just happy to be to ride that wave in that moment, man. I just don't I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah,
How long he been a special teams and
defensive
and
coach his whole
defensive
career.
like all his whole career, and sometimes that transition can be rough because we just seen that in the SWAC and that usually don't work.
And like I said, man, I think Coach Graves is a great guy. He stepped up to the plate for two schools in an interim situation, and won the classic for both of them. I just don't feel like you fire a coach to hire him, and that's no disrespect to Coach Graves, because I like Coach Graves got he not a Southern guy per se, but he been at Southern since Pete Richardson was here, so he's a Southern guy in that aspect. And he respect the university, love the university. He's gonna do the right thing, but I don't feel like you fire a coach after 2 years to hire your interim coach. So I think the timing just not right, and I don't know. I don't know if he really built for that job for the long haul. So I definitely applaud it for him to step in and do what he had to do, because he got that team back on track after a rough couple of weeks, and had them ready to play. So I definitely appreciate that. But I think you fire a coach in 2 years, you have to hire somebody who got a track record. I think, and gonna help you. So he did get an interview. So we'll see what happens though. Um, I want to move on from last week, man. And let me ask you this, Jamie G.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like nobody really talking about the championship game this year? Because I hardly see anybody talking about that game,
I
bro.
agree with you. I don't. There has really been no talk or no hype about this game. It's like it just feels like a regular game that's gonna be late in the season. It don't even feel like a championship game. I don't know if it's because
Man, Blue for head coach, man. Hey, let's make it happen.
man, I don't know why y'all want to run my boy Blue off that quick, man.
Man, hey, Blue ain't going, man. Blue good, man. I make sure they were they on fire, man.
Coach Blue.
Like I don't even feel like you see a lot of people talking about, not having a game that's a rematch that was a blowout. You know what I mean? Like last year when we had a rematch from a blowout, everybody was up in arms. Oh man, don't let that team go back. They already got blowed out once. Ain't nobody saying nothing about PV. So I don't know if it's the fact that it's Prairie View or what, but there's not a lot of hype on this game, man. And I don't really know how I feel about that.
And what's so funny is that it's more talk between FAMU and Jackson State than it is this game. And
Yeah, exactly.
and it's so funny. It's still Jackson State's still in the conversation. I'm like, man, y'all got to focus on Prairie View because I won't be surprised if Prairie View come in, brag, and beat them. That'll be hilarious, for real.
Man,
But I mean, because I think they're all focused, man.
like I say, it's just one of them things, man. I was driving home today and I was thinking, I was like, it's Thursday, and there hasn't been, on the fan side, there hasn't been not one back and forth between Prairie View and FAMU that I've seen. Like you say, everything is JSU and FAMU and everybody else because everybody, they defending their guys for winning Player of the Year, which I want to talk about in a minute. But they've been elsewhere, and Prairie View kind of just been sitting there like, yo, we here too, So hopefully it's a good game. I know the weather's supposed to not be that great, but hopefully PV show up because last time they didn't show up, and
I think it's gonna be a better game this time. I think they probably understand what they had to do this time. Man, this is a high-scoring game. I ain't never seen. Everybody can't stop anybody. Velma Jackson is up 47 to 5 now. It's like a basketball score.
Well, what quarter it is?
Fourth quarter.
Oh.
Velma Jackson, Biggersville. If y'all got some time, man, Mississippi High School championships going on. First game was tonight, and then it's a 5A. Then they're gonna have a couple games over the weekend. So this gonna be some good time in the SIP high school championships going on.
Where they play their championships at?
They play this year's at Ole Miss. They rotate from Ole Miss State, USM, and then Jackson State. Yeah, they rotate the games around. But I don't understand why a team got to play. Definitely, if you come from South Mississippi, come way up to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and got to play a game, which I think the central location in Jackson was better anyway.
Well, think about it, man. We play all our games in New Orleans, so people from up north gotta come down there. So I guess it's just one of them things. We don't really have a centrally located place that can hold them kind of games. So it is what it is. But yeah, I think it would be interesting to see if PV do pull this game out, man. They got the guys. Their defense make me nervous, but they got the guys. If they could find a way to run that ball and control the clock, they got a chance. But I think fam, you gonna seal the deal because they playing at home and it's tough to win now. So I think that's worth 10 points in itself. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, man, we'll see. And just quick side note, man, high school football ain't been good to me this year, man. My team went like 1-9, so it was not a good football season for us. It's basketball now, so that's where we shine at. So I ain't worried about football. Let's roll that b-ball out there. But yeah, the Superdome, is the thing. It's like, you make the dome, you good to go. They tried to move it a couple years ago to different sites. They let the schools pick where they wanted to play at, and that was a mess. So they brought it back to the dome, which is where it should be. But let's take a couple minutes, man, and I want to talk about, and I already had some back and forth with people over this, and I don't want to have no real back and forth over this. How do y'all feel? Well, I don't want to say like that. Ladarius Owens should have been offensive player of the year. I'm just gonna put it like that.
I agree 100%. I mean, I was just sitting there thinking, like, if you put Musa on a couple other teams in the SWAC where they win the championship.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, when you think of offensive player of the year, you have to think about, could FAMU still go through the conference without Musa being on that offense? Or, Ladarius Owens, take away from the team record, man. You got to give it to it. The dude led in offensive categories. You know what I'm saying? So you can't deny that from that kid, man. You can't take it away because he was on a losing team. He's supposed to be the best offensive player in the conference. Because you could put Ladarius Owens on a lot of teams, he probably would still eat.
Oh yeah, I mean, bro, like if you look at the numbers he put up this season, he had 100 yards in every SWAC game except for Grambling. He put 200 on Southern. He put 200 on Alcorn. He put 110 or so against JSU. He put up 110 against FAMU. I think it was the only back to run for 100 yards against FAMU this season. The kid is special, bro. I think that I get as a quarterback award. You know what I'm saying? I get people to see quarterback first and foremost, but I don't. I just think that he should have. I think he should have won it, man. I mean, the dude, all-purpose guy. He third in the nation in rushing. I think he like top 10 in touchdowns. It's. I mean, I would have gave it to Aaron Allen.
Yeah,
if you got to pick a quarterback.
I was saying the same thing. I was like, well, if you want to give it to Musa, I'm like, well, shoot. Aaron Allen had definitely a good case for offensive player of the year. I mean, I don't know. I think it was the coach of the SIDs. I don't know what they looking at.
Yeah,
I think they need stats in front of them before. It seemed like they just picked. Okay, FAMU went through the conference. Okay, with Musa. Like, come on, man. I mean, no, I ain't knocking on Musa. I mean, he won. But at the same, Musa probably know he should have been offensive player of the year, but he gonna ride the wave.
I mean, when you look at it, bro, like I said, I'm not trying to pile on him, but
right.
I heard people from FAMU at the game against Southern hollering about taking him out the game. You know what I'm saying? That's not an offensive player of the year. If you looking for somebody, if you trying to bench somebody, I mean, his numbers were solid, but his numbers were down from last season. He had less passing yards and less touchdowns than last year. So I think he had a chance. He won the games, but it's an individual award. So I don't get it. Now, I will say, you had 3 or 4 people who could have won the defensive player of the year. Well, I don't have a problem with Isaiah Major winning. I still think Bubba should have won it. But I don't think I don't have no problem with Isaiah Major winning it. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people got confused. They think that a lot of people were saying that he shouldn't have won it. Because 2 things can be true. The guy can deserve to win it, and another guy could be, you can feel another guy's better. That don't mean that guy is not worthy. It just means you felt like this guy had a better season, and I'm still a little salty about Bubba not getting the preseason player of the year either. So I don't know what else that dude had to do, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else he got to do, but we'll see what happens, man. So I
I think
I
Williams did have a chance to be the defensive player of the year, because you talking about the TSU linebacker, right?
yeah, Jacob
Yeah,
Williams, yeah.
he was, man. He was causing a tear, and that defensive player of the year, that's a hard one. You got to base that on a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, and
Because it's a couple of DBs I felt that could have been a defensive player of the year.
yeah, it was a lot. I think it was a lot more candidates for defense than offense, because I think the defenses. I don't know if it's because the offenses weren't that good or the defenses were just that good, but there were a lot more guys who had a legitimate claim at the awards. I mean, a guy. I don't want to say this kid should have won it, but I think the numbers that he put up, I think he should have been looked at, and that's Kelby Givens from Southern. I mean, he led the league in tackles for loss, and he was like second in sacks as a sophomore. I mean, he put up really big numbers on the D line. Sack numbers weren't high, but nobody's sack numbers was high this year. But I think he was a guy that could be in the conversation. But any of the top linebackers in the league definitely deserved it, because I think the linebackers in this conference this season were tremendous. So I have less. I like I said, I don't have a problem with Major winning it. I just I just prefer Bubba to win it. But that is what it is. And I ain't got no problem with Willie Simmons winning Coach of the Year. I mean, you can make statements for other coaches, but I don't have a problem with that.
I ain't got no issue at all with that. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind Eddie Robinson being Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
win that many games.
You could make a case for him. I mean, especially coming off of how their season started. They lost. I mean, they lost to Miles. They was 1-1, and struggling with offense. Quarterback wasn't playing good. They made a quarterback change, and they finished 7-4. Should have been 8-3, but they dropped that game at PV. But they finished strong, and I think he could have got some consideration. But when you basically run through the league like fam you did, coach gonna definitely get that recognition. So like I said, I don't really have a problem with that per se. That man stay on Jason Brown, bro.
Now Crook, Jason, Jason Brown wasn't gonna get no. He wasn't gonna get no honors. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Now if they had a Walter Payton Man of the Year award like in the NFL, and they had it for a SWAC guy, I think he could have got that, man. He's a real good character guy.
I think that's
probably one of the best. That's probably one of the best character guys we done had at J State a long time. He always like donating canned goods and doing a lot of community service. Really outstanding individual, man. I got to give that to him.
I'm not trying to make this no competition, but bro, I think Sayers Guthrie, bro. I think that dude. I think that guy is the epitome of what a player is supposed to be, man. He embraced that community. He do a lot of different things, man. I think he the journeyman of the year.
yeah, journeyman. Yeah, they need to do an honor like that in the SWAC. Recognize some good players doing off the field work.
I mean, because it's guys that do some good things, and I wouldn't mind seeing that kind of recognition made for guys. Maybe somebody can get their name out there. But and that kind of take me back to a conversation I was having with DJ yesterday, man. We were talking and we were saying, I don't feel like a lot of teams promote their players the right. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of teams don't promote their guys. So a lot of people don't know what these guys do on, whether it's on the field or off. I think a lot of teams don't promote their guys. Like, I just, I think, like, fam, you do a good job of letting you know who their guys are. You're gonna see their guys all over the place. You're gonna I think JSU do a pretty good job of that. But I would love to see teams really start to promote their guys, man. And maybe some of these guys won't get overlooked as much because I think if you got a guy putting up 200 yards almost every week, I think that should be posted like crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That was a good conversation. That's a good comment. Yeah, I think I agree with that 100%. I think I like to see some guys showcase a little bit more through the social media and maybe the Twitter. Kind of get to know them a little better.
Yeah, I like I say, man. I think that's one step we need to take is to kind of put these guys out here more. But when you're working with what we working with, you don't always get that. A lot of these athletic departments don't do the most for their guys, man. But I want to take a quick step away from football because for most of us, football is over. Salute to JSU men and women, man. They won some big games out of conference. Bethune-Cookman women that won a few games out of conference. Bama A&M, man. I think the Purview. I think the SWAC playing some pretty good non-conference ball right now, and I'm looking forward to conference play. But I think everybody's won a game out of conference at least one. Even Valley got a non-conference win, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's great, man. So hopefully we can continue to pick up some of these wins out of conference and start to invest in basketball because that's where it's at.
Just Valley women don't ever play South Carolina again. Please don't ever.
Oh no,
do that again.
please don't do that.
Them ever.
Don't. Oh my God, that game was so ugly, bro. I don't even know how that happens. That game was ugly. We need to leave them kind of games. Leave them kind of games alone, man. That don't work out for nobody. But like I say, man, we're approaching Celebration Bowl. North Carolina Central, they took a loss in the playoffs. I thought they had a chance to win that game, man. They let it get away from. I know Davis Richard got hurt in that game. Me played the rest of the game, but I think he got banged up, and that kind of slowed them down a little bit. But I thought we would, I thought we had some teams that had a chance to make some things happen, but came up short. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. I'm just ready for some craziness, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with these jobs because I know somebody gonna be upset, bro.
I'm ready to see what some of these guys land in the portal myself.
Yeah, that's definitely a key thing
because I know that window gonna be kind of short because I know they're gonna probably try to get to a new spot as soon as possible because after this JUCO transfer, it's supposed to start getting tight, So
oh yeah,
some of the athletes gonna have to go ahead and commit.
You don't want to miss out on a spot, man, because them windows close fast and the portal window ain't open as long as it used to be. I think it's like a month now. So you know if you don't get it now, you got to wait. So we're gonna see what's happening. What's going on, Said, man? What's happening, man? How you doing? So we're gonna see, man. Like I know, fam. You already know for Keyshawn Johnson, and I'm sure everybody need to get on that guy, bro, because that dude's a special wide receiver. I'm sure, I'm sure a couple other guys gonna get some looks. But
yeah, I see
I just
off of Keyshawn Johnson too just a second ago. I saw that on his Twitter.
Yeah, so
everybody in the SWAC finna offer him.
Yeah, I expect to see the offers come fast for him, but I don't know if he, I don't know which way he looking. I don't know if he trying to go FBS because a couple guys from Bama State went FBS and they they're doing pretty good. So I don't know, I don't know if that's what he want to do or he's trying to stay SWAC, but it's gonna be interesting to see where he go, man, because the guy put up numbers in an offense like that. He could put up numbers anywhere because he was the main guy, and everybody knew he was getting the ball, and he still was able to produce.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, we gonna see what happens, man. And I expect to see a lot more people hit that portal in the next few days, man, because it's about to be wild, wild west, man.
Well, I'm looking at these comments between us.
I know.
Oh man, hey, but real talk, Jackson State could have been 92, man, but it just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, man. But it's all good, man.
Hey,
We'll
I
try
think a lot,
again next year.
bro. What at least 2 or 3 games, bro. Like, oh my god. Well, let me leave that alone because that was like just a mess. But man, I would I would put an asterisk by us being a winning team because we wasn't that good this year, man. But it I don't know, man. Let's run down each school, man, and share your thoughts on everybody's season, bro. We're gonna start from the bottom and go up. What was your thoughts on Pine Bluff this season?
As expected, I'm now I wasn't gonna hang too much on it.
Yeah, I feel the same. Valley.
Uh, seemed like they got worse. Honestly, when dancing little. And I felt like they're going in a reverse really quick. And yeah, Wade going to tighten up a little bit.
Yeah, I know y'all. I know y'all just getting down, man. It's all good. We all having that back and forth. Don't mind. Don't mind how I talk because I'm hard on Southern. So I like to have a little fun, but it's all good. But Bethune-Cookman, man, I thought I thought they did pretty well this season.
Me too.
Better
They
than I
did better
expected.
than expected. Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see, Texas Southern.
To be honest, I felt like they could have turned that corner, but I remember I told TSU that McKinney wasn't gonna get them that hump over that hump.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I felt like they were gonna do the same thing in which they did. Now, you know what I'm saying. I think they showed they had a lot of talent on their team though.
Oh yeah,
They really had
and I
some
think
guys, man, and I see why they had them high expectations.
yeah, like I said, I think if any team, and they had injuries, which kind of held them back, but
Mm-hmm.
they do got a lot of talent, and they still got talent, and I think that's why a lot of people looked at the season as the way it was, because they didn't live up to what they should have, and that's part of the reason why McKinney not there no more. They didn't they had leads against FAMU, they had lead against Southern the whole game. They made a comeback against Jackson State. They was beating Prairie View. They were in the bulk of the game that they played, but then they also lost the game to Pine Bluff at the end. But I don't know if they just that was just the craziest game ever. But they kind of put in the work, but they just came up short so many times. Um, yeah, y'all please hit that like button, man. Please and thank you. Hit that button. Um, Bama A&M. I thought that team was a disappointment, man.
I agree 100%. I don't know, man. I don't know what Bama A&M go from here, man, because it seems like they try to load up on a lot of transfers, and it just ain't working. It just ain't working.
it's like they don't, they it's almost like they don't know what they want to be. They
They have
1 week
no
they're a running
identity.
team. Yeah, 1 week they're a running team. Next week they're a passing team. You know, they just don't really have identity, and that's kind of odd for a team who got a coach that's been there as long as he's been there. He's been there since 2018. So
True.
at this point you should know what these teams gonna be. But I'm not sure, man. They just was not consistent, and I'm a segue to Southern. They was not consistent. The Southern was the definition of inconsistency, man, and it was a frustrating season. I mean, I could do a whole show on that. I'm gonna leave it. I didn't fuss about Southern enough, but I'd never seen a team offensively just not really improve from game to game. And if you want to know why Southern looking for a new coach, is they didn't improve, man. And I don't think nobody had the feeling like it was gonna get better next year. So it's just it's just rough, man. It was just a rough one.
Southern, so like Crook said, Southern was another disappointment, but I thought Southern would have did a little better because of the expectation. But man, I think y'all did the right thing. Yeah, y'all had to cut dude loose, and before it got worse and worse, because I don't know. It seemed like Dooley is about to be stuck in his own way, and that's not good. He was like he want to experience no type of change.
Yeah,
And
I mean
that's bad as you getting definitely him being an older man. he got this he
uh,
got this accept change sometimes.
yeah, like they say, sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks, man. So if you feel a certain way, that's how you always gonna be, and that's a problem. But it's just one of the things that if you don't adjust, somebody gonna adjust for you, and it ain't gonna always be good for you. But moving from Southern, who we got left? Grambling. Obviously, we talked about
Ah,
the job Coach Hugh did. I thought that team had a really solid offense. The defense wasn't that good this season.
right. But if you go back and look at the statistics, they were top five in defense.
Yeah, that's a
That,
surprise,
that, that
honestly.
and that's the funny thing. Like their defense really wasn't that good, but on paper they good. I think they were like top three.
And they had the talent, but for whatever reason they couldn't make it happen. Um, JSU, I'm gonna let you handle that one because that's your team.
JSU, I think I had said a possible 9-2, 8-3, and they finished 7-4, and I think they did well for TC first year. I mean, for you to be a first time head coach and have a winning record, that I'll take it. I take it. I take 7-4 better than 6-5.
I mean, well, yeah, I mean, I would too. But I think a lot of people, you know, there are so many different opinions on what JSU was going to be this season that I don't really feel like nobody really had a solid idea of what to expect. But I mean, for what they had, I thought they did a pretty solid first season. So I mean, they got a foundation to build on, and I mean, that's always a good thing. But um, like I say, it wasn't that great a year in the SWAC anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
um, I think most of our teams had a lot of flaws, but um, I thought Alcorn improved as the season went on. Other
Yeah,
than
me
that
too.
Texas Southern game,
Hmm.
TSU just ambushed them. But I thought at the beginning of the season, man, I thought Alcorn was gonna struggle because offensively they couldn't get nothing going. But they finally found a way to pick up some steam, and they had themselves in a position to go to the championship, man, and came up short. And we talked about FAMU and Prairie View, and they still got a game left. So we're gonna close out this little segment with Bama State, man. I thought the Hornets did pretty good this season, man. They was a team I thought might look like they were gonna have a losing season, and they were able to turn it around, man.
Yeah, I agree.
But like I say, man, it wasn't the greatest of years in the SWAC, compared to what a lot of us thought that the season would be. Because I thought this was gonna be a really great season. But yeah, that's a good point, man. We need to really sit back and look at everybody and what everybody's expectations should be. I mean, of course, everybody want to win a championship. I mean, that you don't play a game to not win. But is that realistic for every school? I think that's something that we really people feel like. You should win a championship when your team not even really championship caliber, and then you get mad when they don't when they don't reach that level. But man, we're gonna go ahead and shut this thing down, man. Get ready for the weekend and try to catch this SWAC championship game. Like I say, we'll be back next
3 o'clock.
Yeah,
3 o'clock.
We'll be back.
Championship game on ESPN. What?
ESPN 2. ESPN 2. So, like I said, man, y'all check that game out, man. Hopefully, the weather don't be too bad, and we can get a pretty solid game in there. And maybe them Panthers pull off a surprise. We'll find out, man. Hopefully in these last couple of days for the game, man, people start kind of talking more about it because it's been really quiet. So hopefully we can get a little bit of talking going on, man. But with that being said, man, we'll go ahead and get on up out of here. We're gonna catch y'all next week on another edition of SWAC Smoke. So we up out of here. Y'all thank y'all for rocking with us. Hit that like button on the way out. Thank you.